I fixed it. I fixed it. I see the comments. I fixed it. I fixed it. Yeah. I matter. Both teams really suck. Both teams really suck. Um, but yeah. Sorry about the mess in the back. I literally just did laundry. So there's that. What's up, y'all? Whew. Hold on, let me. Okay. What's up, people? Watching the game was like listening to smooth jazz. I got some videos I sent you on this. On what? What are we talking about? Hey, Clannies. Some videos I sent you on this. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking. Some messages I got. No, I didn't get any messages. There we go. Yeah, I don't see any messages you sent me. You said Discord. Where? Yeah, I'm on Discord. That's why I'm looking. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. What is this? Game theory. If you have time tonight, you should watch these videos, at least one. They said some great things. I agree with basically everything they said. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, let's start off the night right. So first and foremost, like I said, apologize for the background there. I just did laundry, so I just threw it on the bed. I have not put my sheets on. But nonetheless, hey, we're a family here, right? You guys don't mind. You don't care. Hey, shout out to AB in the chat. I'm just going to say AB because that's your name on Discord. I rarely say this, but I need to say it more often. If you guys want to join the Discord and talk to other Spurs fans, please do. Link below in the description box. Just join the Discord. It's the Clan the Spurs Fan Discord, and got some really good mods over there. So if you want to interact with some people, go do that. I think we have a total of about 1,000 members so far, so if you guys want to jump in there, please do. But AB actually sent me two videos, and he said I should listen to at least one of them. So we'll take a look here. Let me bring it up. Let's see, view site, go to YouTube.
So this
oh my goodness, that's loud. All right, before we do that, also along with the Discord, if you guys are also interested in some merch, go check out clanthemerchfan.com. As you guys know, I will be closing down the Discord pretty soon, but I did want to give a shout out to the last person to order. So it was Yolanda and Benjamin. So big shout out to Yolanda and Benjamin for you guys ordering. Just be patient with me. I will be working on these near the end of this month. So, but yeah, I do appreciate the love nonetheless. And thank you for being patient and showing love towards the channel. So yeah, so big shout out to Benjamin and Yolanda. And then big shout out to AB for sending me this. So let's take a look at what this is. This is from Game Theory. And which one did I click on? The Dylan Harper one or Julian Champagny and Devin Vassell? So let's listen to what they have to say about them. Are they Spurs fans or?
team, we are going back to a real contender and the team that has probably been, I don't even know if probably is the right word, has been the second best team in the NBA this year. And that is the San Antonio Spurs. And Victor Wembanyama is making his case to be a MVP, like a real MVP conversation.
Actually, let me put this on there. There we go. All right. If people value defense as much as they value from offense, I think he should be a legitimate MVP candidate. Like, it should be neck and neck with SGA.
Steph Castle's an all defense level player and been very good.
Okay, we'll listen to the Harper one later.
2 ways, multiple triple doubles this year. De'Aaron Fox has been good. Dylan Harper.
Can I just before you do this, can I shout out Steph real quick? So everyone complains about the turnovers with Steph Castle. Everyone, and I know we're coming off of a 6 turnover game against Charlotte. Just heed what I say here on some level. And everyone talks about the shooting with Steph, obviously, as well, right? Like, that's always the big.
His catch and shoot shots are actually pretty good, I think. I think his percentage is pretty high, especially in the last month. I think it's pretty high. Actually, let's just look at his 3-point percentage in the past month. Let's just go Steph Castle, ESPN. Let's see here. I'm really curious. He hasn't been doing many pull-ups anyways, so we don't have to look at that. I guess we'll do game log. And in the month of March, his 3-point percentage is 40%. And then the month prior, he's 35%. So he has been really good the last couple of months. So yeah, there shouldn't be any complaints really. If he shoots like that, like, you win most of these games.
The 2 big things that people will call out. Oh my God, does he shoot it well enough? And is the decision making good enough? Well, if you look at their run from January 15th onward, basically, I think that he has like nearly a 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio and is shooting 36% from 3 in that time. So like, we're in like a pretty good position here where we've seen a couple of months from Steph of doing the things that he really needs to do.
Yeah, I think he's a monster. But anyway,
I do too.
Dylan Harper going to be all rookie player. We could stop and talk about him some more too. I think Keldon Johnson's been good off the bench, but Devin Vassell and Julian Champagnie. And quite honestly, Sam, I think Champagnie's the one I want to spend the most time on, but I think Vassell can easily be forgotten in terms of how important he is for this team and what he's done. So just to start, post All-Star break, these 2 guys are both top 15 in the NBA in 3-point percentage. If you just do like, hey, at least top 15 in the NBA in 3-point percentage. If you just do like, hey, at least have played 5 games and taken 3 3-point attempts per game. Any guesses what they're both shooting about the same percentage? Any guesses what they're shooting from 3 post All-Star break? Champagnie and Vassell.
41.
No. Higher.
46.
46% from Champagnie on just under 6 attempts per game. Almost 48% from Vassell on just over 6 attempts.
What? Really? I've said this since the beginning of the season, before the season even started. Actually, we've been saying it since last season, that I think Devin Vassell is very important, and we need to just tamper down our expectations and just say, hey, he's a 4th option, which is an insane 4th option. But let's see here. Oh. Yeah, 45% in the month of February. 40%. Good God, guys. Good God.
Per game. Here's my thing. If we just stopped there, how important and impactful is that for a team that we talk about? They need floor spacing. They need 3-point shooting because, does Fox do that well enough? Where's Castle at? Castle, by the way, 40% from 3 post All-Star break. Does Dylan Harper do that well enough? Just for the record, 43% from the 3-point line post All-Star break.
They're getting such great looks. I also think because Wemby turned it up a notch as well. Like, he's gotten so much attention. And now teams are really, when they step up like that, teams are really struggling to figure out, like, what the heck do you do? Like, this whole pick your poison thing is not panning out anymore. You used to just be able to double Wemby, and you can't really do that. Also, this is, I've said this before, but I just watching this team, in lots of ways, I think that they're better than the 2017 team. Probably more so because of the depth. I think off the bench, it's just a better team than what we had back then. I think the team that we had back then just had more experience, which could give them the edge over this one. But man, is this one good. And then we just coming off of a game against the Kings where we just hit a franchise record, most threes in a single game, which is crazy to think about when you think about the 2014 team. Yeah. And then we're getting ready to hit another record with the most players to average 10 points per game throughout an entire season, which would be 8 players. Yeah, crazy.
It was just that. But it's not just that. I don't think with either one. Champagny rebounds the heck out of the ball, especially on the defensive end. He is second on the team in defensive rebounds per game post All-Star break, which I find value in that. Yes, you want.
I'm not that shocked by that.
Rebounds to generate second chance opportunities, all of that, but he's going to the defensive boards. I think he can take some defensive matchups. Here's the other thing. These guys combined, you talk about the Steph Castle turnovers. These guys don't turn it over. They combine for 1.6 turnovers per game between the two of them. So they knock down shots on volume. Champagny really is impactful on the boards, can take matchups. And quite frankly, Sam, I think Vassell just has real gravity. He can do stuff off the bounce, get to the mid-range, hit a jumper. In that game against the Hornets, he had creation for teammates. And I think he's really embraced this role of, we talk about energy givers. I never thought I would say that about Devin Vassell early in his career. He just runs around and makes plays. In one of the Pistons game,
one thing that I thought about Devin Vassell that I was shocked by, this might have been his third year in the league. I was really shocked by the playmaking ability. He is such a good passer. And I've seen many games this season where teams are so concerned with Fox, so concerned with Wemby, so concerned with Dillon, and then he just comes out of nowhere and makes some big plays or certain stretches. And he doesn't even have to give you a bunch of points. Like, just by him going on a little run here or there, teams are thinking about him. They can't, they can't play off of him. They can't sag off to help. Like, Spurs are really dangerous. There's not that many teams that can match up well with us. And if we're shooting as well as we are, there's probably no team that can match up well with us. The Knicks still bother me. Like, Knicks really bother me. That just seems like a really gritty, tough matchup, but we probably won't even have to see them.
Only note I ended up making was great block in transition late in the game that could have cut the lead to single digits. And it's like, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, like, he's making those type of plays along with the Pistons game before that, absolutely destroying them with all of his shot making. I think these two wings are vital to their success.
Remember when we thought Devin was our third to fourth option? We'd be ready to make a run. Now he's our 5th to 6th. Is he? That's a discussion. Is that a hot take? Here, let's go to the Clippers game. Well, Clippers game doesn't show everybody. Hold on. Is everybody present for the Sixers game? Let's see. I just want to look at the roster. Okay. I think everybody's present here. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So first option, we would say probably Wemby, right? So that's 1. Fox, we're going to say 2. Steph Castle, we'll say 3. Not in particular order. Screw it. Dang, dude, you might be right. Because Keldon is probably 4. Dillon, 5. I feel like Devin Vassell goes back and forth. No, actually, you're right. Holy. Huh. I guess at any given night, it could be him or Keldon as far as, like, who's taking up that maybe 5th, 6th spot. Wow. Yeah, Chatter's right. fifth or sixth option is insane for somebody that talented. Because I thought for a championship team, him being a third or fourth option is really good. So yeah, fifth, sixth. I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Yes, and I think have both like solidified their role as the two starters off of De'Aaron Fox, Steph Castle, and Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Like Vassell, it's funny.
Wow.
Like when he was at Florida State, like I thought he was an awesome defender, and
Okay,
thought
so
he was
that's
going to
what's
be like a
interesting
real
with
guy.
Vassell. I didn't
But-
like. What does he become compared to what you thought he was going to be? That is interesting because
Devin. Okay. Devin, my expectations for talk for myself. My expectations for Devin actually shifted quite a bit over the years. Right. At first, I didn't have very high expectations. I thought he would just be a typical 3-and-D, and that's it. As years went on, he started to develop a little bit more ball handles, and my expectations went way higher. I thought, oh, he might be able to be a second option for whenever we get that superstar on the team. And then after that year with Wemby last year, I was like, yeah, no, he's not that. He's probably a fourth option, and him at a fourth option is insane. And if you can have him with the price is right, which the Spurs do have the prices right for him, you are a dangerous team. So my expectations have kind of shifted up and down. But if I'm thinking about my first initial expectations, he's probably still there, right? I think I was at a baseline of, hey, he's a really good 3-and-D that gonna make some good plays. Playmaking and ball handling, I was like, whoa, that shocked me. But then I kind of come back down to earth a little bit. So maybe he's a little past my expectations from when we got him, but he's exactly what I hoped he'd be. You know, maybe a little more, but I don't think he's like blown me out of the water when it comes to like what I expected versus what he is, because what he is right now is kind of a 3-and-D with a little bit more playmaking, and on time at times if you need him to create a shot, he can. But yeah,
I wasn't scouting whenever Vassell was coming in.
elite role player.
I thought
Yeah,
he was a lot more 3-and-D. Like I thought he was
Okay.
a lot more like what Champagny has become with like a little bit more juice, which is why he went in the lottery. But he's been a lot more like well-rounded. Like they really developed him into a like ball screen, a guy who's very comfortable in ball screens, is like a shooter and playmaker. And, you know, particularly like early on, he really loved the mid-range jumper and still loves the mid-range jumper to some extent for sure. But like as they've gotten Fox and Castle and Dylan Harper as well, who we talked about last episode, I think that he has leaned a little bit more this year into, okay, I need to be like the floor spacer, knockdown shooter guy, which has been a huge value add, I think, for the
Yeah.
Spurs across the board. They do need one of these guys to be able to really step in and knock down shots. And Champagny as well, man. Like, I can't speak highly enough of Julian Champagny and what he's become. Like, you know, undrafted player turning into what Julian Champagny has become is such a credit to him and such a credit to the Spurs organization as well. You know, to identify him, I think that his first organization was Philly, maybe, if memory serves, originally, and then signed a
Julian Champagny.
and then I think he like signed a 10-day maybe with the
Undrafted.
maybe I'll say Devin Vassell exceeded my expectations as far as him individually as a player, but versus how the Spurs use him, he didn't. Like, he's exactly what I thought the Spurs would use him as for the most part, but I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense.
Spurs.
Two-way with the Sixers. Sixers
Yeah.
ended. Spurs make a successful waiver claim off the two-way.
That's what it was.
2 days later, February 16th, 2023, tendered a qualifying offer in June, and then he became a free agent, then signed a multi-year contract. So I thought he had bounced around a little bit more, but no, it was just Philly, and then San Antonio identified him and has kept him. Good for San Antonio.
Yeah.
That's a huge win. Wow. Good for them.
Yeah, that would have been a big win for Philly too.
Every freaking year, dude, I feel so validated, because every single year I've talked about how I thought the front office was doing a great job, even throughout the rebuilds. You guys were here for it. Some of you guys are, well, a lot of you are new, because a lot of you guys came when Wemby came, which I do not blame you for. Like, if you're a Wemby fan, that's cool. But if you were around during the dark ages of this channel, it was me every single night for years just yelling at people about our front office doing a good job. Yeah, you just didn't see the wins yet. But
no joke.
Right now.
Can I say one thing on Vassell real quick also? His 3-point attempt rate is 10% higher than it was last season. I think just that alone is huge in terms of like leaning into this role they need from him.
Yeah. No, I agree. Completely right. It's 100% essential. I mean, this is like just running through the Spurs roster right now. Like they're closing in on like Oklahoma City levels of depth. They're not quite there.
It's silly.
But like all of Fox, Castle, Harper, then you have like
okay, this is a serious question. All right, does anyone believe this? Does the OKC Thunder have anyone coming off the bench that's as talented as Dylan Harper? Because they still start Jalen Williams, right? Or am I tripping? By the way, I rage bait OKC fans all the time. No, I don't think so. Does anyone think so? Yeah. No, yeah. Oh, that he starts? John Mitchell probably. He hasn't played. Yeah, I don't think they have anybody coming off the bench as talented as Dylan Harper. Like Dylan Harper is a starter. Dylan is better than all the bench from OKC. Yeah, because OKC got depth, but I don't know if they have anybody. I don't think they have a Dylan. Yeah.
like Vassell, Keldon, and Champagny.
By the way, I hate OKC. I just rage. Hold on, I just rage bait. I'll show you something. I'm not actually angry at all when I see like crazy OKC fans. I just like to add to the hate. Or OKC plays, I just like to add to the hate, honestly. That's a toxic trait I have with rivals because they are a rival now. So I like to just rage bait. So this play where Caruso had his shoe and he swiped at the ball, got a tech for it. Everyone saw it as, oh, isn't that just a silly moment? Just a little silly moment. Oops. Just a little silly moment. And you can see him swipe at the ball right there with his shoe. Yeah, only OKC would get away with that. I'm not angry, but like I said, yep, when we was right about unethical basketball. And I just rage baited a bunch of OKC fans. Didn't hit him at all. It was called a tech. It was called a goaltend. Everyone commenting negatively on this just shows you didn't watch the game. Exposing yourself. Sad to say, I've noticed Castle flopping recently. I don't think we get to flex the ethical hoops narrative anymore. Yeah, okay. That person's not real. You're not a real Spurs fan. Oh my God, bro. Can you just laugh? Y'all are so weird. If Caruso uses shoes, Lou Dort would use a 2x4. Okay, that's actually on our side. Yup. Looks like unethical KC ball. Okay, I think he's on our side. Wait, this is real? I thought it had to be AI just... Okay, this is on our side. He said we were ethical, though. Yeah, dude, I'm just rage baiting. It was a clean block. Great heads up. Played by my GOAT, Caruso. Okay. But, yeah. But it's quite softest fan base in the league. Y'all are pathetic. Yeah, they're all children, by the way. If I flex my 5 rings, they'll say, what? Y'all got that last ring before any of us was born. They're literal 10-year-olds.
Then you have Barnes as like the older vet. Then you obviously have Cornett and, well, you have Carter Bryant, too, who's been really fun recently. Then you have Cornett and Wemby, obviously, like as the front court guys. They just have body after body after body right now that they just throw at you. And like, oh, yeah, Kelly Olynyk is on this roster, too. Like, it's just silly. It's just.
He mentioned Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk doesn't add to our depth. We don't play him.
Absolutely silly how many bodies they can throw at you.
I almost made it a trio watching that Spurs Hornets game and put Cornett in there also because he is so important. It's kind of like we always talk about Valanciunas in the non-Jokic minutes, but Cornett in the non-Wemby minutes are going to be massive for this team in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing quote unquote sexy about it, but he comes in, he has some rim protection. He catches some lobs. They'll put a couple offensive rebounds back. And then Victor. And then here's the other thing. And then they run a ball screen with Victor and Cornett together. With,
mind you, I want to say something because I think we give a lot of credit to Wemby, but we still don't give enough credit to Wemby. None of this is possible if Wembanyama doesn't take the massive leap that he took last season. I told you guys that how I felt where he said he wanted to go and play for France over the summer. And I was just hoping. I did not want it to happen the way it happened. Like, the blood clot, that really sucked. But I was just hoping. I was like, please do not. Because I just wanted him to have a legitimate offseason, because I know how hard he works and what all the stories we've heard about him before he even got to San Antonio. I was like, he would have a crazy leap if he just honed in on that, preparing for next season. And man, did he prepare. Like, the main reason why all this works is because Wemby has grown physically and mentally. You can go back and watch Victor Wembanyama's tape from last year and some of his best performances. He is not the same player. Like, not even close, which is scary to say. I went back and watched his 50-point game. Not even close. He's so much better than that player from just a year ago. So it's a big deal that he had that time off and worked on as much as he did. And now teams can't really. So yes, do we have more depth? Sure, but none of that will work without Wemby and the jump that he made, because it is insane. I mean, obviously adding Sean Sweeney, for our defense and helping guys like Keldon, who isn't a great defender, is a big deal. But Wembanyama being in the mix, being on board, growing his basketball IQ. No longer are teams really able to double team him anymore. He doesn't really suffer from double teams as much as he did before. No longer can you just put kind of a strong, sturdy guard on him and throw him out of his spots. Not really, right? So teams are really struggling because of that.
Obviously, Victor Holt, handled.
And obviously, we all knew that Cornett was awesome. Kelly is a bench rotational player on a lot of other teams. He doesn't touch the floor with us because we that deep. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's really nice to have him like games like this past game, right? I mean, he played a little bit. At least I saw him out there. When you have a back-to-back and you can kind of rest guys a little bit, and yeah, he's important.
The ball, and they connect on a lob play out of a ball screen. So we want to go big against the Nuggets and put Cornett on Jokic and let Wembanyama be the roamer off of whoever. And, they can do some of those things as well. So to your point, this team sneakily built so much depth. And
yeah,
I've been stupid low on them all year, and I'm an idiot for that. But
yes, you are. I'm just kidding. Yoga says, Clan, do you like the idea about Jampeni at the 4 in the starting lineup? No, but kind of stuck with it. He said, I'm worried if he goes against a big power forward in the playoffs, like maybe Julius Randle. Well, that was the main reason, Yoga, I brought up why I don't want to play the Wolves. Like, this is a big reason why I would love for the Lakers to stay 3rd and the Rockets to stay 6th. So then next round, we would have either the Rockets or the Lakers. That would be perfect. Best ideal road to the Western Conference Finals. Obviously, it doesn't happen. I'll put my big boy pants on. I'll put my chin up, chest out, and let's go to work. But yeah, that's a big reason why I didn't. We do need another power forward, and they're not going to start Plumlee, which would be nice though if they wanted to do that, if they attempted to do that. But it's definitely going to hurt our floor spacing a little bit, especially what we got going on. So hopefully, what I'm hoping for is we can outpace them in shooting overall, and Jampeni really desperately would need to make Julius Randle pay for being out there. So I'm definitely worried, but I guess as long as you got Wemby out there, look, you got Rudy Gobert. He can't shoot threes. Wemby's going to be roaming the paint. So maybe we can figure it out, but just a tough series, not unwinnable. It's just tough. Julius Randle struggles against us. Well, we'll be okay.
There's just no reason to doubt this team and what they're capable of. They're so much fun. I've enjoyed watching them all year, even though I've consistently questioned what the ceiling is in the playoffs. And maybe that still ends up being true. I don't know. But man, they have so many players that are so good and so much fun to watch.
This episode is brought to you by...
Oh my goodness, you scared me. Wow, what a really great take. I'm ready to listen to another one of theirs. That was really good. Agree with everything. They're really good. Does Game Theory, are they Spurs fans or they just kind of listen or watch everything? Hold on. Shout out to them. Yeah, they literally talk about everything. Should I just like listen to them more? That's really good. Just have them in the background or something. Good stuff. All right. Thanks for sharing, AB. Yeah, I watch Game Theory often. Okay. All right. You guys ready for the next one? All right. Let's listen to the other one that AB sent. So once again, if you guys want to join the Discord, please do. Link in the description box. But huge shout out to our boy AB here for sending these out to me. And he said, hey, you should listen to at least one. We already did the Devin Vassell and Julian one. So let's listen to Dylan Harper discussion. So let's go ahead and bring
Let's
that
talk
up.
about Dylan
Oh my
Harper
God.
next.
I screwed up.
Because
Oh no.
let's talk about Dylan Harper next.
Okay.
Because
Okay. All right. Okay.
have
All right.
probably
Okay. Oh, okay.
enjoyed-
Oh my God. All right. And before we do, big shout out to, let me bring them up. We got Yolanda for ordering on clanthemerchfan.com and Benjamin. So big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for your orders. Also, Jacob and Andrew, they were a little bit earlier in this month. Thank you guys so much for all the support with the channel. If anybody else is interested in ordering from the shop, please do. Link in the description, clanthemerchfan.com, and just see if there's something you like. If there's nothing you like and you don't care about any of that, at the very least, just like, subscribe. Because I have a lot of people that watch that aren't even subscribed. My videos just come up on their algorithm because they watch Spurs stuff. But if you want to subscribe, that would mean the world to me as well. I really want to get to 20K subs by the playoffs. That would make me feel official. I will officially feel like a YouTuber if I get to 20K subs. Anywho, all right, let's listen to what they have to say about Dylan Harper. But yeah, you ship merch outside the US. I do, Yoga. And when you order, it's going to be like, you'll see the shipping price is going to be pretty high depending on where you're at, to be real with you. But yeah, I ship out.
Dylan Harper's last, I don't know, month of basketball, as much as any rookie not named Con or...
Hold on, let me actually see when this... Oh, this is literally 2 days ago. Wow. First and foremost, he's better than Con. I don't know where people are coming from when they say he's not. If you want to say Con is doing a phenomenal job and he could possibly get Rookie of the Year because of the position that he's in, sure, I guess. But he is not Dylan Harper. He is not as good as Dylan Harper. Is Cooper Flagg's probably... What's Cooper Flagg looking like? I have not watched any Dallas basketball. I'm going to be real with you guys. I've only watched teams that we need to worry about and my Spurs. I mean, obviously Cooper Flagg is better than Dylan and Con, but I was just wondering how he's been recently. I'm gonna look it up.
Cooper. Since January 28th, you can look through and he's got a 16-point game, a 20-point game, a 15-point game. He had 15 against the Lakers. He had 17 against Phoenix. He had 15 against...
Yeah, last 3 games, Cooper is shooting over 20 points a game. Fell off a little bit earlier. And yeah, Cooper Flagg's really good. Dang, the amount of assists that Cooper Flagg is getting is insane. Wow.
Toronto. Recently, he had the massive 22-point game against Philly. Like, these are games against teams that are actually trying to win and are actually trying to be, like, extremely competitive. And he's just beating them. If you look at his last 18 games, Dylan Harper is averaging 13 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists versus only 1.5 turnovers. He's shooting... Bryce, what do you think Dylan Harper is shooting from the field in his last 18 games, where the Spurs are 16-2, by the way, and he's playing 24 minutes a night?
I mean, he's close to 50 on the year, even without the 3-point percentage. So, I mean, I'm going to say, since you're asking the question, I'll say 55%.
He is shooting 59.5% from the field over his last 18 games, 39.5% from 3, 70% from the line. His finishing at the rim is outrageous. His finishing at the rim is...
I'm gonna guess. I think I know this. Isn't it like 78 or something? I don't know, Ball. I'm probably wrong.
Completely and utterly ridiculous. And this is a skill set that we talked a lot about coming into the draft last year, was that his finishing is incredibly valuable because of his
60s.
ability to extend. His stride length is really remarkable. His footwork was always pristine. He has every Euro step you're looking for. He has every, ability to manipulate the ball in the air that you're looking for. He's just an elite below the rim finisher. And you put him on a team with Victor Wembanyama and a bunch of spacers. I mean, from the moment that he starts to shoot threes at real volume, like not just where he is now, where again, like we just mentioned, in his last 18 games, he's shooting 39.4% from three. When he starts to like really be able to weaponize the threat of his shot and then be able to get downhill.
I recall us looking at an article when the Spurs got him, right when Spurs got him, and the main discussion was, can he shoot? And we looked at it, and we took a look at like what his catch and shoot shots were versus like his pull-ups, and it was very high. Like, he obviously could shoot the ball, and I thought that in this season, that's what, he would get more opportunities like that, which now we're seeing that, yeah, he does, and he does shoot well.
I don't
All eyes aren't on him like it was prior.
know how you stop him, and he is going to be like an immediate all-star at that point. He is, for what it's worth, I love Con Knipple. I think he is outrageous and outstanding, and I am such a fan of his. I think I'm still taking Dylan at 2 in this class.
Easy.
Do you know what he's at
Shouldn't
from
be a
2-point
discussion.
percentage this year? The whole year.
It
Rookie.
has to be 65%.
It's 56, but I mean, he takes such a, that's ridiculous. That's all 2-pointers. Like that's not at the rim. That's all 2-pointers. So here's the other thing we'll get into the nuances of his game, and I don't want to just do the numbers thing, but his per game numbers aren't going to stack up, right? Because, he only plays 22 minutes a night. But when you go per 100 possessions for all rookies, all of a sudden he skyrockets right into, he's fifth in terms of points per 100 possessions. If you go to rebounds, he's, a top 10 rebounder, top 15 rebounder. If you look at assists, he's second behind only Walter Clayton. Steals, he's top 10.
Wow.
All of those numbers balance when you take out just the fact that he hasn't played as many minutes per game as some of the other guys. And then here's the nuance to me. Watched him play a game against the Pistons recently. He immediately gets involved in a defensive rebound, grabs an offensive rebound, does the inside out Steph Curry relocation to the corner, bangs a catch and shoot three.
And I really hope they bring up his defense, because I think that's something that's really been lost with Dylan. His defense, absolutely insane, that no one talks about, which really bothers me. Dylan at 1 easy in the draft. I mean, as much as I love Dylan Harper, Cooper number 1, but in any other draft, yeah, Dylan, other than Wemby's, yeah, Dylan's probably 1.
Did have a couple turnovers, wasn't a perfect performance, but every time it's just the way he goes about his business. He gives great production in his minutes. And then I want to speak to the finishing real quick. He uses his body so well, and he's so strong. And sometimes that's the thing that worries me about a player like Dylan Harper is he just stronger than everybody in college, and it's not going to be able to be used in the NBA? And for him, it has translated. Recent game against the Pelicans, goes right through Murphy in transition, bumps him, stays downhill for the dunk. Goes right through Zion Williamson's chest for a left-hand finish. He makes the right plays. He makes the right passing reads. And Sam, I still think he's a very good defender as a rookie.
Oh, there we go.
And-
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I think he's been so good on defense this year.
Yes.
He is really aggressive at the point of attack. He is physical. He uses like every bit of that 6'6", 220-pound frame, whatever it is, to like really get underneath you. And then again, like talking about being able to hold your line, he's physical and powerful at the point of attack, being able to hold his line. You can't really go through his chest. And look, like undeniably, I think Steph Castle, I think De'Aaron Fox certainly.
The amount of professionalism. That's not me. I just saw him mute his mic just to take a sip. That is not me, guys. We will. Yeah, I don't do that. You guys gonna hear it. Y'all gonna hear the slurping pause.
To some extent, like
Going to bed. Good night, Larry. Good night, my man. Clanny baddies. Good night.
those guys are really helped in terms of being able to be aggressive by having Victor Wembanyama behind them, right? Having that sense that, okay, even if somebody beats me because I was over aggressive at the point of attack, I have the ultimate rim protector behind me that's going to block a shot, right? Like that is something you can't really underscore, in my opinion, in these conversations. And for what it's worth, like when you look at the numbers on Dylan Harper's defense, right? When Dylan Harper and Victor Wembanyama are on the court this season together, do you know what the Spurs defensive rating is?
Wait, say that again. Who?
When Harper and Wemby are on the court together, do you know what their Spurs defensive rating is? I haven't looked at this number before.
12.
103.
96.4. What? And then when Harper is on the court without Wemby, it's 116.8, right? And Wemby's on the court without Harper, it's 109.7. So like a top
What
three mark
about
in the-
Castle,
What is
Harper,
it?
and Wemby?
Yeah, I was about to ask that. What about Castle, Harper, and Wemby? Because I feel like that would be... That's crazy.
Wemby together? Like, I don't know how many minutes they've actually played together, so that it may not be substantial enough, but...
They play a lot.
And shout out to our
minutes
friends over at Data Baller for these numbers. So they've played 150 minutes together. Take a guess on what the defensive rating is with those three.
I'm going to go 93.
90. When Wemby, Dylan Harper, and Steph Castle are on the court together, they average 125 points per 100 possessions, and they give up 90 points per 100 possessions. They have a plus 35 net rating, the three of those guys together. That's pretty good core, Bryce. I think that...
So they should just like start together, right? That's what we should do in the future. Yeah, crazy. Wow. And that's a very frustrating. I love that lineup. I love when those three are on the court because that's a very frustrating lineup, especially when they're shooting at the clip that they're shooting at. It takes a lot out of you having to deal with Wemby, and then you have a downhill player like Steph Castle that could just go right into your chest, and usually going to be one-on-one matchups because you don't want to just leave Wemby like there for an easy lob. You're going to need some help on him. Same with Dylan. Any given moment, we can go to Steph, we can go to Dylan. They're going to make the right play. Like, yeah, so you're already exhausted, so it makes sense that when you get on the offensive end, yeah. And then you have so much freedom if you're Dylan. Like, you can play as aggressive as the coaching staff wants you to. Like, you can play as aggressive as you want because you got so much backup. But Dylan also is just a good defender. A lot of times those very high IQ, especially with the skill set that he has physically, and how he can move and maneuver and his strength, like that translates usually pretty well in the defensive end with these high basketball IQ players. This is why I love Derek White before he was even getting playing time. And I was advocating for him to start over DeJounte Murray, is because he had everything, and IQ wise, just on the defensive end, he had all the makings to be a great defender. And I felt the same way with Dylan before the season even started. But wow, I was not expecting 90. I wonder how that ranks amongst like some of the greatest defenses ever. I know with Wemby on the court, we're the equivalent of like the 96 Bulls, I believe. So I'm wondering what is it with those three?
I think that's something the Spurs can build off of.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm glad you brought up like his physicality. I have notes from a Wolves game where like he even had to hold up against Julius Randle in an isolation possession. I'm not saying he's not Steph Castle defensively. Like I don't know that we're talking all defense level defender the way Castle is. I don't think he's going to be as strong as Castle and versatile and all of that. But even the fact that he was able to do it at all, is a testament to just his physicality. Everything we loved about him as a freshman at Rutgers has transitioned into his rookie year. And he's doing it in a role on what's probably the second best team in the NBA at the end of the day. And, doing it off the bench for a winning team, it's really, really impressive.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Man, the Spurs are awesome, Bryce. Like,
that's what, like, I've been thinking about it, and I'm gonna look real stupid. I've already looked stupid with their over/under before the season, but it's like the Wolves lose so many silly games. I mean, you still got to give the Nuggets their thing. The East is so wide open. I have no idea what to think about the Eastern Conference anymore. That's what I'm like. The Spurs are incredible. And why doubt or put a ceiling on the likes of Victor Wembanyama and a kid like Steph Castle and Dylan Harper? They're not kids, grown men getting there. So yeah, they're awesome.
You're not letting them go. Like you're not letting them go.
Yeah, they are a wagon right now.
And one thing that we have on our side, even when we get to the point where it's like everyone has to get paid, the Spurs organization is so different than a lot of other organizations. So you kind of choose your struggle a little bit, right? Just like in any decision that you make just in life. But these guys, I mean, their struggles are much better than our struggles. But you're really deciding, like, do I stay with the Spurs for a little less money? But then you have like the ability to grow, the ability to win more championships. Your legacy is there. You have great coaches. Everybody works well together. You got chemistry. Only the right guys come through here. You don't get a lot of knuckleheads in the locker room. Or do you go somewhere else where you can make a lot more money, maybe a little bit more fame? You won't be in the shadow of Wemby, but the organization won't be as well run. And a lot of times, especially with the type of guys that the Spurs draft, they want to stick around. This is actually one of the reasons I wasn't that crazy about DeJounte. I know he stuck around or whatnot, but like I just wasn't crazy about DJ. And now he goes to another team and just really shows his butt any chance he gets. But a lot of players that come through San Antonio, they want to just stick around. Keldon, he kind of took a pay cut. Like I think he could have got paid more somewhere else. Even Devin Vassell, I think that he is worth just about, if not a little bit more sometimes than what he's getting paid. But yeah, I think we're in a really great position.
Like I said, 16-2 in their last 18 games. They are flying at this point. And, look, I never thought there was any way that they were going to challenge Oklahoma City for the number 1 seed. We're sitting here with about 16, 17 games left in the year. They are 2.5 games back. Like the Lakers 3, Rockets at 4. They are 8 games ahead of those two teams. They are basically locked into the 2 seed or the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And they're really chasing Oklahoma City right now for home court advantage. And I think Harper is a huge reason for that. He's been great during this leap.
I don't even know what's going to happen with that, honestly, guys. If I'm being completely real. I have no idea. I don't think we're going to catch OKC, me personally. where I was hoping they would fall off. They did not. I was like, oh, so many tough games. They're bound to lose. They didn't lose one of the games I expected them to lose, to be real. Yeah, and now their record, I mean, their schedule gets a little easier. Yeah, I don't know. They got the Lakers twice. They got the Clippers. They got the Nuggets. Yeah, we might be stuck in second, which is fine. Like, I actually kind of want to be in second, especially if things pan out like I think it is. I do not think the Rockets going to stay right here. They're just too bad of a team. They are the most fraudulent fourth seed I've ever seen in my life. Most of the games, like most recently, they're only winning against bad teams. Like, you beat the Pelicans, you beat the Raptors, you beat the Trailblazers. But then you look at who they losing. They beat the Wizards, but you look at who they losing to. It's all the good teams: Heat, Warriors, Spurs, Nuggets, Lakers. They are fraudulent. They have enough tough games to go ahead and get kicked out of that fourth. Please just land a 6. Please be a 6. I want to play you second round. You are the Lakers, please.
That they have had in these last 20 or so games.
Ant-Man out 2 weeks? Since when?
Wemby is obviously the biggest reason.
Today?
I mean,
Oh my God.
I wonder if we understated how close Wemby is going to get to making MVP like a conversation when we did awards last week. I still think it's going to be Shea, and I think it's going to be pretty clearly Shea.
Right.
But if they close like this and they end up as the number 1 seed and he gets eligible, obviously, there's going to be a conversation that happens, I think.
I think the Spurs Pistons game where he went crazy happened after we did awards. And I remember watching that game and just going, like, if we were going to record this tonight, I would probably flip those two guys and, have
Wemby and Cade, you mean?
Yeah, Wemby and Cade. Yeah. I think it's going to be hard to take it away from Shea, just because I think for Shea not to win it, it's almost like Shea would have to do something, like go through a really rough stretch but if San Antonio did overtake them in the state, because you just don't have that argument anymore of like by far and away the best team in the NBA or anything like that. He's been incredible. I love the way he goes about his business, the emotion he plays with, all of that. Again, I got to watch him just single-handedly destroy Detroit that night. And I said it was an MVP caliber performance in that game on both ends of the court.
Yeah.
The only thing I worry about with the Spurs, it has nothing to do with like in the middle of a game or in the heat of the battle or anything like that. I think as the game goes on, Spurs going to make enough plays to be in it. I don't really see us getting blown out at all. Really, I think we have a time or two, right? I think the Knicks blew us out. Who else blew us out? It doesn't really happen. It's pretty rare. But I see the Spurs like being in most games. The only thing that worries me is when it comes down to you're down by 1, you need a basket. Let's write something up. Just draw something up. What are we going to do? That's the only thing that worries me. But maybe Mitch got some things in his bag. I have no idea. But that worries me. I haven't seen a lot of like consistent late game. I mean, I guess maybe because the Spurs blow out so many teams, but I haven't seen many like late game packages like we know what you're going to like, and there's nothing you can do to really stop it. Like I think back on some of our best teams and it was very obvious what the Spurs were going to do, or we at least had a couple options where we felt comfortable with like any one of these guys going to hit that shot if you give them a good look, and I don't really feel that. I don't feel that comfort, but once again, super young team, and maybe we just haven't gotten enough situations like that for us to have, or for me to have that worry just yet, or I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we don't get blown out that much. Yeah, we just don't get that many opportunities to do that. Where you look at like OKC, and yeah, they hit those shots. I just wonder how many of those are we going to be able to hit? That's okay. I trust our leader. I trust Wemby.
He is.
I'll trust him.
He has, I think, genuinely every ability.
Lobs, but
as long as he stays healthy, to become the best player ever. Is kind of where I'm at. I don't know if he'll do it. He has a long, long way to go. But he's the first guy that's come around in a while where I go, oh no, this is like possible. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
This isn't a normal rebuild. This is actually what a rebuild should look like. It's just we're so efficient and so good at what we're doing, and we had a very clear-cut plan and a timeline, and we're just matching that timeline. Like, we all talked about this. When we got Wemby, I know everyone wanted instant gratification, but I'm pretty sure the first thing we said was, like, we're not a competing in the playoffs team until a couple years, right? But, yeah, I don't know.
Taking anything off the table for him at this point, and we are in year 3 and we are sitting here, and it is impossible to actually do that. And then, like, coming off of the All-Star game as well, where it was very clear that he wanted to dominate that game too, which to me says a lot about his character, says a lot about his competitiveness level, right? Just who he is as a human being. Man, yeah. I mean, the Boston game on, what was that? Was that Tuesday night? Where, you know, they beat Boston by like 10 or so. And he goes for like 39 and 11 and just completely takes it over. You know, we're looking at his last 15 games here of 25, 11, and 3, where he's very clearly the best defensive player in the league. And is shooting 51, 37, 82, and getting to the line 8 times a game.
First thing we said was that we need a backup big. Yep.
You know, and taking 7 threes a game and opening up the court for everyone else on his team.
The NBA is in good hands, Sam. That's what I will say. That is my takeaway from Victor Wembanyama and what he's doing right now. Is that, I mean, it's not like Shea's going anywhere anytime soon, and there's some other players obviously as well, but you could do way worse than Victor Wembanyama being the guy that's leading the charge across the league, and that includes Shea and Cade and etc. But you want the All-Star game to change every year. It sounds like Victor's the guy that's going to make that happen above any other format or anything else that you could do.
This episode is brought to you by our
scared me again. I just can't get over all the teams we've beaten this year. OKC 4 times, Celtics twice, and the Pistons twice. Man, I would even add on to the Pistons. That second time was so convincing. Like, yeah, we brought the fight to them. They were not as physical as they were the first game. Like, we brought the physicality. And OKC, that one time they beat us worries me a little bit, but OKC was really desperate to beat us in that one. And then that last time, they was like, we're sitting everybody. SGA's out, so everyone else is going to sit too. So, yeah. All right, man, the Spurs look so good. They look so freaking good. All right. So, got something else to go over. Hold on. Give me a second. Where is it? This. So, all right. So chat, have something to go over here. So the San Antonio Spurs, Luke Cornett. I don't know when he had time to do this. I don't know when this was, but apparently he sat down with Derek White and had a discussion about Wemby. I don't know. We'll take a look. But before we do, if you guys are interested in some merch, please go check out clanthemerchfan.com. Link in the description. Shout out to Yolanda and Benjamin for being the last ones to order. If you guys want to get some merch in, please do. Link in the description. But yeah, I have a clip here. It is a minute long, and it is Derek White having a discussion with Luke Cornett about Wemby. I have not watched this. I just saw the title of it, but let's take a look at what they're talking about here.
Was that tough for you when he took your starting spot back? Thank you for this question. It's a real question. You know, Vic was out for a little bit, and then he was coming back on.
Hold on, you guys can't. Did it hurt you when he took your starting? There's no way he's gonna say yes to this. Like, really? Hold on, let me pull it down a little bit. There we go.
A minutes restriction and was coming off the bench, and we have been performing pretty well. And no one really asked me, you know, how I might feel about, you know.
They didn't ask you.
I don't know if you're familiar with Wally Pip, but there's also because there's like all-star stuff going on, right? And it's like, I'm the starter on the team. I've seen a lot of votes going the other way.
My backup is getting more votes in All-Star than me. That
It was cool to be able to provide that role, but you knew that sometimes the young bucks just coming up, you know, and you don't want to let go of it. But
You know, a lot of people were discussing whether or not Wemby would come off the bench. But you know, yeah, he's gonna be sarcastic always. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
all right, fine. He's caught up enough. I'll let him have it. You know, it's probably better for, you know, spirit and morale for the group or something.
I guess.
You know? Marketability. I don't know. It's probably something like that.
What is this from? I see top. It says kicks. Is there a larger clip here? Hold on.
It was him and Vic 2-on-1 against me. Already not a great spot to be in. So I'm kind of
Give me a
like
second.
jabbing whatever,
Good
and then
dunks
Steph just
on.
threw it off the backboard, and then you're
Talks
just like,
about Cox Wemby.
we drafted Dylan and stuff like that. There's like a lot of young talent that we're kind of all in the process of like just figuring out how to play winning basketball and get it all to like mesh together. And when you're kind of bonded into winning,
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit. Okay, please forgive me. We're gonna do 1.25.
like that, which I feel like was kind of ultimately in Boston, was like the thing was bring it all together just to win. That kind of makes everything pretty smooth.
What's that been like for you? Obviously, you're a veteran presence in the same position as someone who's, you know, working to be, you know, in the conversation to eventually be one of the greatest to ever do it. Like, what does that feel like for you to be that, again, veteran presence for such a young guy who's making such big strides, literally and figuratively, in today's game?
Yeah, large strides indeed. Yeah, no. Derek knows. Cue the clip. Yeah, it's funny when you say like veteran presence even, because there's a certain point where you just look at me like, I guess I do have quite a bit of experience playing basketball, you know, and like, and obviously the years of like being in Boston and just seeing like even in the playoffs and stuff like that, that you realize like, oh, just a lot of people don't have that many years and that like time, and like eventually you do start just sort of knowing things that other people it like takes time to develop. So, but honestly for me, I feel like it doesn't come out like I'm really like Al, I feel like was always a great example, where it's just like on court, you're just trying to figure it out and you're just doing what it takes to win and just trying to like connect and make everything work well, right? And so a lot of it is just trying to do that and trying to set up everybody for success and kind of know your teammates' strength and try to be able to enable that. But obviously Victor's
It's so crazy because when people bring up being a vet with Wemby, it truly is a leader. I think a lot of people don't, and we talked about this before, but when he played in France and he went to that the Mets team, one thing that he brought up before, which I thought he was joking, but he was dead serious, Mr. Magic City, yeah, Magic City Luke. He was dead serious. He said that he was involved in everything pertaining to that team, like everything, when it came to like the guys that came to the team, when it came to conditioning, when it came to diets and what people were eating. Like, he had so much control over that. And like very similar to what people say about LeBron, which people say is a strength and a weakness, or sometimes people use it against them. But Wemby knows what it takes to run a team. He knows what it takes to hold other people accountable. He holds himself to that standard. He holds his teammates to that standard. He said the other day that he holds his trainers to that standard. So Wemby is definitely someone who, yes, you know, a veteran can give him some insight. He's going to ask for it and he's going to grow himself. But he is undoubtedly the leader, and there is no worry about, is he his own guy? Is he his own man, right? Like, he just is. Like, no one had to tell him or push him towards competing in the All-Star game. That was just him. That's just who he is. That's the type of basketball he respects. That's the type of players he looked up to growing up with Kobe Bryant and everything. So, yeah, it's So when people say like, "Oh, what is it like being a vet for Wemby?" It's like, what it'll be like being a rookie for Wemby, right? He's gonna learn everything from you. When Wemby first got into the league, he asked Don Barlow a lot of questions, and Don Barlow was confused by that. So he was like, "Really? You got questions for me?" So, yeah.
Particularly incredible, and does things that, like, frankly, not any player in NBA history has been able to do. Like, and you see a thing every night that is just kind of one of one. But like just being able to be his teammate and just try to like help facilitate that and help win. And honestly, he's super well intentioned in terms of caring about basketball and also caring about his teammates in like a pretty unique way that I think our team is just kind of it allows you to be like kind of the greater than the sum of its parts kind of thing when everybody's looking to. And it starts like, you know, especially with him, like kind of just like empower everybody and you just care about the success of the group a lot. So I think that like intentionality is something that's pretty special and something that like especially when it comes like really trying to play high level winning basketball and when you're also figuring out how your skills fit in, which he like can play 15 different ways in every game, right? And so I think there's been so much like growth even this year of like, all right, how do I adjust game to game and what is like the top end version of that, and I can like trim out the stuff that's not just being like as efficient, and then like obviously just like keeps layups from happening. So that's pretty cool.
Was that tough for you when he took your starting spot back?
Thank you for this question.
I was gonna
That's
call
what we
Mitch. Like, are you sure this
just
is like?
No,
watch. Okay, let's skip it.
Like, you have to practice against him every day. Like, what is that like for you? What do you do? And tell us something that has maybe happened on top of your head behind closed doors that you.
well, September was a tough month. I'll say that. It was like, you know, we're playing pickup, getting in the gym, like playing like 4 days a week.
So when does the season start again?
Yeah, no, honestly, there's a part of preseason where I'm like, this is just so much easier, you know, because it's like there's a 6'11" guy who has like average arms guarding you, and all of a sudden like you can see the rim. Yeah, I was doing a lot of handoffs with shooters for the entire month of September because I was like felt like the only way you can kind of get something going. And there was a couple plays in that like month of September. It was like I made one block that was like incredible, of kind of coming from like the 3-point line all the way over and shutting something down. And then I think there's one time in a transition, Steph Castle driving down.
That's actually something we don't think about a lot. I think we might have mentioned it last season, but like even having Wembanyama on your team and you having to go up against him 5v5s and workouts, that makes you better in and of itself. Like you have to be as creative as humanly possible to get your shots off, right? So that kind of grows creativity and resilience on your part. Like I can imagine Dylan Harper really, putting as much sauce he can on the ball just to get it past Wemby. So like, as much as we see Wemby be the benefit as far as how he defends other teams, he's also a benefit for our offense, right? Because, yeah, that has to be really difficult to play up against in practice.
Vic 2-on-1 against me, already not a great spot to be in. But kind of like jam whatever, and then Steph just threw it off the backboard, and then you're just like. I was told that he made it.
My eyes were closed.
I was just making sure that the stanchion was all right. It was strong and sturdy. So it's good to know. Great job by the facility staff making sure the basket's secure.
That's funny.
That was my perspective, at least.
Do you feel like you've gotten better having to? I mean, you were in a unique spot, and right, I get when the season goes on, you guys aren't playing 5-on-5 in between the busy schedule. It's a lot of like walkthrough stuff, things of that nature. But how do you think how have you improved playing in that role where you're like, I'm going to do what I can, and then to your point, when a 6'11" guy with regular size long arms is on you, you feel like you can see the basket.
Regular
you can get
size
shots
is
off. Like
crazy to say.
Does it feel like
it's probably got like 7'5" wingspan? We're talking about regular size.
regular size? When you comparing him to Wemby's arms. This episode of White Noise is brought to you by our friends.
What the heck?
Heavy ball, and then they throw you the normal ball, and you're like, "Whoa, this is
You
crazy."
think Luke's done that?
Yes,
What is that supposed to mean?
absolutely. How dare you?
Ball handling with a
I've
heavy
seen his
ball?
handle.
I've done ball handling with a heavy ball.
Or, okay, maybe it's better. Maybe Luke.
Peyton yourself.
Maybe Luke and I can talk about dunking
Yeah,
a heavy ball.
just really.
You're literally practicing over the best defensive big in the league. Dude, you're literally practicing against the greatest defender to ever walk this earth.
We've tightened up our handle.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch. I don't know. 98% of my NBA dribbles are lateral, I think, for one, right? Like, very seldom going to the basket. The scout's out now.
Oh.
I shouldn't have said that. Now they know.
Now hit him with a crossover. Nobody would ever expect it.
To be honest, I was thinking about. Well, I actually had a kind of actual like drive and move and jump hook the other day.
Did you
And that
make
comes
it?
out once every 20 games.
Did you make
know?
it?
I did. Well, yeah, I did. Cue the clip. Anyways, I'm trying to think where we started with this.
How have you? Is
Justin
it like the
Clark,
analogy of like you get rid of the heavy ball, you get a normal ball back, and you're like,
Well,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, my game these days is predicated on just empowering my teammates. I'm an enabler by profession, essentially on offense. So, honestly, I feel like
He really is.
for me, I mean, I was just being like a roll lob threat type stuff. So, frankly, I've always felt like it just kind of works through my teammates, anyways, and I'm just trying to put them in a good spot and get a good screening angle. And then I feel like the thing about being a big like that is you can have a game where you have 20 because like they left the lob more open, or your guard can have the game where it's 20.
Oh, Spurs Reddit actually did add the clip. Oh wow.
Or it's like corner kickouts. And so game to game, you're just sort of working on little nuanced stuff that you know is not really going to show up in a certain way. But it's been fun just adapting to playing with different guys and different like types of skill sets, where I feel like last several years, obviously with like JT, JB, like we had a lot of like bigger wing playmaker type guys, whereas our team in San Antonio is like a lot more fast guards. And then obviously like Victor. And so it's been fun kind of playing with that dynamic and seeing like, all right, how do I now adjust to like be the best version that I can be for our team? And I think that's changed. Like that's definitely been like a fun part of realizing like how many like subconscious ways of like, oh, you do this every single time, that now has to change a little bit because we have different skill sets and different abilities from guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little quicker guards. I think you guys have now than
Not saying like that.
slightly
Derek's fast.
faster.
Derek's very fast. He's very good at basketball. Good stuff.
I'm pretty fast.
Fox, yeah. Well, Fox, we have Fox, Dylan, Steph.
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely
they're all,
another level. Yeah.
It's funny because they like all have kind of different ways of like moving and scoring and playing too. So you kind of have to be aware of that. And like, yeah, it's kind of even what options are going to be because they all present different
White secretly getting intel, maybe.
things themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lob threat. Sneaky athlete.
Of course.
Of
Do that
course.
my time. You know.
You can't be a full athlete.
Yeah, no chance. Me and Caruso, sneaky.
Yeah.
He's large, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put my hands up. I'm at the rim.
Yeah.
No, but I think like you definitely like help them like, cause you like just know how to play the game, and like as a big man that's kind of in the right spot, or like
Yeah.
the screening angles and where to roll and I'm gonna do a gortat, like whatever it might be. So all those little nuances that I feel like you learned in Boston.
Yeah.
All credit to us, of course.
Well,
in Maine.
It is kind of true. It's like, and another sneaky athlete, Jakob Pertl, you know, very similar kind of a thing, just like knowing how to do stuff like that. But I feel like you're kind of like that version as a guard, essentially, of being able to be on ball or off ball and just like knowing how to space, knowing where the ball kind of needs
Yeah, very sneaky athleticism.
to get to, what the actual advantage is. Because like, you guys are big at certain times where, you know, you just need to hold the screen, or you know, you slip out, or just because of how the spacing is, it's like you got to bail from this thing anyways because it's not going to work. And just kind of having that. We've talked about this before. Way better 5-on-5 player than a 1-on-1 player, you know? Like the more bodies on the court, the better, because then there's more to kind of work with. Whereas when it's just me, it's called exposure.
So you won't be do if the All-Star game wants to put like a 1-on-1 challenge, you don't want to put your name in the ballot.
I do like 7-on-7. Yeah, we can go the other way.
Wordplay.
I want a Tim Duncan moment where you're going for a 3-point shot. You're not expecting it to go to Luke Cornett for it. I really want to see that because Luke Cornett can shoot threes. It's just been so long since he has in a game. But he came into the league as a 3-point shooter. I think he had the most 3-point shots by a big ever in college. So like, I wish we would pull that out every now and then. I don't see why not. You know, why not just one possession and do that? Just throw teams off completely. That would be so nasty if Mitch Johnson pulled that out. That would be crazy.
Let's stay in the court, make it like soccer.
He got hurt and lost his confidence in 3. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. He hasn't taken 1 3 all year. He hasn't taken 1 3 in years. I think it's been years. And if it is on his stuff, he probably chunked it up. Let me see, where is Luke Cornett? Let's see. Actually, I will go to stats. Yeah, he hasn't. Past 3 years, he hasn't. And then, these don't count. He didn't take 1. He didn't take a 3. Last time he took any significant 3s was 6 years ago. But still, it would be nice just to see them do it.
I think I do poorly in the 1-on-1 competition.
That was his words, that he got hurt and lost. Oh, and losing his form. Oh, okay. So the way that he plays now was just a way to sustain his career because of that injury?
Shout out to Peyton Pritchard. Everyone who's been through Boston has had the Peyton Pritchard one-on-one experience, and this is years back, like kind of in his first couple of years, a lot of one-on-one with him and some other guys. So that was fun times, you know.
Yeah. I was never a one-on-one guy, and it's always like,
I'm be honest with you. I'm not gonna. You said that he says in this interview. I'm not gonna wait for that. Let me see. Yeah, I have no idea where this will even be. Didn't play basketball. Hold on. Yeah, this is where AI can kick in. Where's the AI thing? Ask questions. All right. When? Oops. 28:44. All right, let's see. Maybe I did find it.
Joel Embiid basically drove and like broke my nose on a play, and then I thought it was kind of fine. Went on the season like a month or so later. I started feeling like my shoulder's a little messed up. I don't know. I like couldn't really like get like elevation as much on my arm, and I was able to kind of finish the season and still shoot all right. But I definitely knew something was wrong. And that year I ended up signing to Chicago in the summer. But like frankly, by the time I signed to Chicago, I was like something's messed up and I don't know what's going on because I like couldn't. I was literally just like hitting the ball off my forehead. Derek's seen this, I imagine, many times. So like I would like not be able to get it up, and I like be cutting myself and literally bleeding like as I'm in Chicago trying to work out, and I'm supposed to sign as a stretch 5, and I'm like I don't know what's going on. Eventually we realized it was like in November of my 3rd year, like when I had broken my nose, my like deviated septum, like I couldn't breathe out of my nose at all anymore. So like I started mouth breathing and my neck started getting like really tight. So that was another thing. Like I started noticing like so like my neck got tight, like kind of first rib, shoulders, like, and then you kind of lose your natural movement patterns of your shoulders and your whole like movement patterns of your body basically. So actually get that fixed, working back on coming back and starting to feel a little better. And then I hurt my like foot ankle pretty bad. Kind of like COVID happens, kind of come back off that. Start playing, but I like stop jumping off my left leg anymore. Not really sure what that is. Finish that season, find out that like I need to get like left ankle surgery to sort of tighten up my ankle. There's a lot of detail.
I have so many follow-up questions.
Basically, from then on, like I just
Tell us every injury you've ever had.
So all right, this is. So I have a blog. It's gotten recent now, but I thought of an idea. You know, there's like the Players Tribune, like letter to my younger self. So I would start off the first paragraph, like letter to my younger self, like, hey, young kid, you know, you're gonna go through a lot. Da 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 da. Just wanted to share a couple things that I thought you should know, and it would just be like. January 9th, you're about to get elbowed in the face, back up. February 7th, you're going to break an ankle. Don't drive on that plane. There's just going to be a list of like injuries and also like financial investment advice. So just like buy all the Tesla you can, you know, and then sell here, buy more, you know.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good like. I thought that was funny.
That's funny. That's a good take. It's a good take. It's a good take on the letter too.
He You know, even though he doesn't have that shooting for him anymore, it's really nice that when you're a shooter, you usually still have good touch, you know, in general. And I think he has a really good touch around the rim. So even though he doesn't have the shooting anymore, it still benefited him now. It's coming up shortly before the 30-minute mark. Oh, yeah, we already went through it. Oh, you said that earlier, probably. Sorry, I just now saw it. Good stuff. That's all I'll take from that. Really good interview. You love to see it. And this wasn't that long ago. This was just a few days ago. All right, we're catching up on everything, man. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, he's like 90% free throw shooter, I think. Let's see. Not quite. 82%. But in Boston a couple years ago, he was 90, but he wasn't taking that many. He just doesn't take that many. But it looks like he's always been a pretty good free throw shooter. What brings down his percentage is those years he didn't take many, and it was 50%. So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Clan still up? Yeah, we still up. I haven't even talked about this game, which I still want to talk about this game, and I want to go over some more stuff. Because this upcoming week, I'm not going to be Ghost. I'm going to be back, and I'll be here. And we'll be going live here or there, but I do want to get as many segments as we can because I do got some stuff coming up. All right, let's go to this game. All right, so, guys, wait, where is the game? All right. All right. All right. San Antonio Spurs once again put on an absolute butt whooping against a team that they should be putting an absolute butt whooping on, and that is the Sacramento Kings. Now, before I talk about the Sacramento Kings and how much we gave them that belt, big shout out to Yolanda and Benjamin being the last two that ordered on the shop. If you guys are interested and want to show some love, please head on over to clanthemerchfan.com and get yourself some merch, man. Benjamin, you got quite a few things, which I really do appreciate, my boy. You guys just be patient with me. I have to get everything in, and then I'll ship it out. But thank you guys so much for the love nonetheless. And yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about this game. Wicket says Lindy underrated. I feel like he would get more minutes if we weren't so deep. Well, unfortunately, the Spurs are really predicated off of defense, so I don't think Lindy Waters necessarily underrated, but him being an in-the-bench guy that you can throw in if the Spurs are severely struggling, maybe he can get a shot for you here or there, is a big deal. But this game in particular, he did a great job. So one thing I really love to see what the Spurs did, I'm actually, look how many people played and no one got anywhere near 30 minutes. Wow. So the San Antonio Spurs, knowing they were going to be on a back-to-back, really took care of things. Like, they made sure, like, okay, let's stay healthy. Let's play as many people as we can on the roster just to make sure everyone is fresh and ready to go. And everyone played but Mason Plumlee, which is a little strange because I think Plumlee desperately needs those minutes. But, hey, Kelly Olynyk got his minutes. He had a pretty good game, 1 block, 1 steal, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. He did fine. Missed a couple threes, but it is what it is. So if you guys didn't know, the San Antonio Spurs shot 25 threes. And if you're wondering if that's a record, yes, that is a franchise record for the most threes in a single game, which is insane. But this is the funny thing, right? I know it's against the Sacramento Kings, but like I said before, the Spurs are respecting every single one of their opponents. So when people were telling me, not people, it was a couple people that thought, oh, the Spurs are they getting too cocky and all that nonsense. As you can see, the San Antonio Spurs are respecting every single one of their opponents. They didn't go into here half-heartedly. They gave them that whooping. You want to be a tanking team where you're going to feel like a tanking team. And they gave them that belt, like, really bad. And you should be breaking records against these teams. At one point, it felt like Vic was on pace to just, like, I don't know how many points I thought he was about to put up when he went on one of those runs. But nonetheless, the Spurs did an incredible thing. Franchise record, most threes. And if you're wondering, as far as this year, the Spurs are second in the league for most threes in a single game by any team. I think we're tied with the Charlotte Hornets, Bulls, and Hawks. I think it might be yeah, I think those are the teams, and I think Charlotte Hornets did it twice. And number 1 might have been Magic. I got number 1, I think. Don't quote me on that, but the Spurs are second this year. And then as far as all-time teams with the most threes in a single season, we might be top 30 with doing this. I think the most ever is the Celtics with 29. Anyways, all I'm saying is this is incredible, but even if we're keeping in the scope of the Spurs, insane to think this, especially when we had a multitude of really great three-point shooting teams in the past. I am very shocked that the 2013 Spurs team didn't do this at some point, like how hot we could get from outside. So this team really is special. And this is the thing, though. They can beat you in so many areas, right? And this is what makes them so scary. The only worries that we should have is experience. Not as worried about it because we got many players that do have it. But just late game go-tos as far as like how we're going to score in those really tight situations. Those are the times that will worry me. Those really tight games, who's going to score at the end. How are we going to set up this play? That's the stuff that worries me a little bit. Other than that, though, the Spurs are doing everything that championship caliber teams do, where any given game, no game really looks exactly the same. Some nights you're going to be hot. Some nights no one's going to be able to buy a bucket. But because the Spurs can lean on their defense, because they can still get gritty, because they can attack basically all levels on an offense. I mean, there's nothing the Spurs can't do. Like, we have a plethora of players that can shoot in the mid-range as well. Like, you have Fox who can do it, Castle who can do it. Fox mid-range game is very underrated. I think he even brought that up at one point. But yeah, he can do it. Devin Vassell can do it. Dylan Harper can do it. And then you have a few guys that can shoot a three. And with how well Castle and Dylan Harper has been shooting from outside, that's going to play dividends. Guys, the San Antonio, I didn't even realize this. Steph Castle had a horrible game offensively. Well, he had 12 assists. He didn't have a horrible game offensively. But scoring-wise, he only had 3 points. And, yeah, at one point we were up on the Kings by like 40. So you're just doing what you're supposed to do. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat the living crap out of them. And we made them look really bad, which they should look really bad, especially against us. So this is what championships teams do. Don't scoff at it. Don't think it's not a big deal. You doing what you're supposed to do. And this game just being so fun to watch and refreshing. And it looks like we're just in a rec gym and just playing some randos on the court. That's what it should look like when you're this great of a team. 12 assists translated to 31 points, I think. Yeah, he didn't have a bad game. I was just saying, like, I'm shocked that he went 1 for 7 from the field. But anybody can beat you. In this game, we didn't even have Devin, I don't think. Yeah, Devin was out this game. The Spurs are real. This is a lot of depth. This is a lot. I'm not gonna front, guys. This is a lot. There's been so many games where I just been smiling watching this team because of how overwhelming we are. I mean, we just truly are overwhelming. There's not many teams that worry me. We're just overwhelming. It's too much. It's too many weapons. Wow. Is there anything else to say about this game? I mean, Dylan Harper comes back. He looks fine. Is there anything to say? Keldon was great. You know, for those that were worried about Keldon has Keldon even been that bad the last few games? I know the last game people were pretty worried about him, but let me see. Keldon hasn't been that bad. He's been kind of on and off, like bad, good, bad, good, bad, good. But yeah, congrats on Russell passing Nash, I guess. They not like us? Nah, we are deep, but man, sometimes our offense gets dry. But that's the thing. Our offense isn't really our bread and butter. That's what our offense being as good as it is with nights like this is kind of icing on the cake, because our offense definitely needs some work at times, especially in the half court. But good God almighty, is that defense basically one of the best defenses I've ever experienced watching the San Antonio Spurs. It is so good. It is such a good defense. And that translates to easy offense. So won't worry too much. We'll see, though. Exactly, our defense is what will make this a cakewalk in the playoffs. Yeah. I think the Spurs are really prepping themselves well for the playoffs. You know, there's been many teams over the years where I sat back and I worried, and I'm like, ooh, you know. Well, I sound like E40 right there. Ooh. But, like, there's been many teams in the past where I worried about, like, oh, will we be able to, you know, fix this before the playoffs? But I'm looking at the team right now, and honestly, I can only see us getting better. Like, we still have room to grow here. Like, Carter Bryant can continue to get into a rhythm and get better. We're playing through De'Aaron Fox a little bit more. He can get better with this team. You have a lot of room to still become better. If you can start getting Plumlee a few minutes, maybe he'll come in handy on a playoff game or two and get you some of those key rebounds that you might need, some offensive rebounds or something like that. But Yeah, you're only getting better. I know that we're gonna probably limit the we're gonna limit just a little bit, right? Like who gets playing time or whatnot, but this is really impressive. And the Spurs are on pace. I said this already, but the Spurs are on pace to hit a record, and that record is most players with 10 plus points. 8. Actually, I think I saw Shell Beetle talk about it. Hold on. I think I posted on Instagram. Let's go to that clip. Give me a second. That's not me. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Here we go. Yeah, here it is.
8 players, by the way. This could be an NBA record. They have 8 players averaging 10 or more points per game, which would be the most for a team in a single season.
That's crazy.
So it's very impressive. It's every day I'm more impressed and I fall more in love. Here we go. They have.
There you go. Nasty. So the Spurs are looking great. Nothing to really comment on, guys, and I'm not going to hold you with this one. We're just really good, and I expect them to continue to get better. And we face the Suns next, so that's actually an important game. Let's see when's the next big games. I will be at the Memphis one. I'm excited about that. So I'll be watching the Memphis one. So we got Miami. Okay, so we got the Suns. Indiana's going to be an easy one. Miami will be a tough one. I think we struggle with them just a little bit. So we'll have them, and then we'll have Memphis. So we got a few. I think the Spurs got a really nice end of the season. It's enough easy teams, but also some that's going to challenge you. Like, for instance, Wemby can only miss 3 more, right? I would not be mad if the Spurs, if we can hold on to those 3 games that he can miss, and the Spurs just held on to it till near the end of the season. Like, if they wanted to sit him for Denver those 2 times, and like a lot, because we can beat Denver without him, and if we can beat Denver without them even getting a look at Wemby, that's actually would be really great for us. So I really am hoping that the Spurs do use it. We don't have any more oh yeah, we do have a back-to-back. So it might be kind of, I don't know. I guess I'll have a better idea after a week. I guess we'll see how the things are shaping out, and then we can kind of see, like, where do we want Golden State to land? Where do we want the Denver Nuggets to land? You know, maybe. I don't know. I don't think the Spurs are going to just. I'm saying it from a fan standpoint. I don't think the Spurs are going to think like that at all. They're going to just try to win and just rest guys if they can. So if he has 3 more, maybe you can rest them against the Clippers once. Rest him against Denver, and then rest him against that last Denver game. You might be able to do that, especially if at that point it's pretty obvious. Like, it's not going to be obvious. It's going to remain a tight race. I don't know. I don't know what I want. Clan your collar? What, this? Sorry. I was getting a little excited. Sorry, I'd say it. I was getting a little excited. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about my Spurs. I get a little excited. I get a little hot in here. You know what I mean? $6 for Grizz tickets. Yeah, I probably overpaid, honestly. I'm going to go and look at that. But anyways, good stuff. Really nice stuff. Spurs are looking great. And yeah, it's really nice to look at this team and say, there's some that we can drop. But they're probably going to try to play Wemby throughout all of them. But if by the end of the season and we still have those 3, rest them against Denver. If we can beat Denver with Wemby, maybe it's a tough game, rest them against that last one. Let's get to the playoffs. And let's still beat them. And then take it to the playoffs. Might be pretty nice. I don't know. We'll see. Might be a risk. Might be a risk to try to sit Wemby in the middle of, right here. And then we still have several games to go. I don't know. And unfortunately, he can't just play 15. We already used that up. So he got to play his 20. Got to play 20. Anyways, we can say Wemby for the Nuggets for the playoffs. Yeah, I would not be mad not playing him against Denver at all anymore. And I personally think plays in our favor if Denver can win as many games as possible. I don't want them to beat us, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I want. Don't listen to me. I just want Wemby ready for the playoffs, and I want to give Denver a disadvantage for the playoffs if they have to face us. That's all. Anywho. All right. So, got some other stuff. All right. So, as you guys know, I want to take a look at what Wembanyama had to say. Maybe we'll listen to what Mitch had to say too. Yeah, I'm really curious. I want to know what our boy Wemby had to say. Let's take a look at what Wemby had to say. You know, he has a lot of wisdom. He has a lot of things to spit for us when it pertains to winning in this league. Now, before we do, big shout out to Yolanda and Benjamin for ordering on the shop. If you guys are interested, please go check it out. Link in the description, clanthemerchfan.com. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. I really do. It really does mean a lot to me. As you guys know, I'm making a huge move this year to Japan. So any, sales that happen on the shop, it really helps with getting out there and making sure I have enough money saved up and everything. So I do appreciate the love nonetheless. But no pressure. If you don't want to, if there's nothing on here you really like, that's fine too. You can support just by liking this video, subscribing, and gosh, I sound like one of those just like typical YouTubers. But you can do it just by that. Just by doing that, it means a lot, right? It means a whole lot. Whoa, what the heck? That was like the greatest jump scare I've ever had in my life. Thank you so much, M. It's always love, Clan. What the heck, dude? Thank you so much for what the heck? Are you okay? I hope you're not going without utilities this month. I'll try to keep you warm with my presence, okay? Wow. Thank you, dude. What the heck? Wow. Thank you. Bro, I'm blessed. Thank you. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, is that so in? Anyways, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you, Yolanda, Benjamin. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to the other two as well. Hold on. I won't say your full name, but I'm pretty sure it was Jacob and Andrew. Yeah, Jacob and Andrew, thank you guys as well. I never gave love to Craig and Joy. I'm sorry I had to refund because they ordered something months ago. If you want to order now, I'm back on the shop and everything. I had to refund them months ago when I saw that because I was like, yeah, I'm not doing the shop at that moment. But we're back rolling. So if you guys wanted to as well, if you don't, that's fine too. I appreciate you trying to show support nonetheless when you did. But yeah, sorry. Wow. All right, guys, we got a segment to go through. I hate to seem ungrateful, but let's take a look at what Vic had to say. That's like 3 minutes of me just saying thank you. So,
Vic, all season long, you guys have had balanced scoring.
Oh, whoa, no, we had it sped up for Luke Cornett because he speaks pretty slow, but we're gonna listen to Wemby.
Kind of that beautiful game, good to great, shot making. What's been the key to that? And can you also address Steph tonight, 12 assists and no turnovers?
I think human nature makes it that one of the best motivations is seeing the results, seeing that it works, it pushes people to do it.
You know what would be the weirdest, but also the most cool thing ever in the entire world? And this is like a random thought. I have no idea what I thought about this, but maybe I thought about Tim Duncan when he would come up here like with his kids or whatnot after the championship. It would be cool if like whoever Wemby marries, like we never actually see what she actually looks like, but she just like wears like an alien costume all the time or alien makeup That would actually be really cool. I don't know. I also don't know his orientation, so I don't want to just assume, but I don't know. Maybe he only dates aliens. Maybe he actually does date aliens. I think that would be cool. That's all I'm saying. I think it'd be cool. It'd be a lot of lore. Some people would call it corny. I would call it cool.
More.
And I would call her cool.
But we can't ignore the fact that I think our team has well-put individuals, and everybody contributes to the collective. That makes it really smooth.
Victor, I have 2 questions. The first one, by the time you guys reach 60 points, about 10 or 11 guys, about 10 out of the 11 guys had scored. What was working tonight? Yes, truly. What was working tonight? And not one of you guys had over 10 points.
Is that E40? I'm hearing a lot of E40 tonight. I don't know what's going on. Ooh. I can't do an E40 impression, but he sounded like E40.
Yes, truly. What was working tonight? And not one of you guys had over 10 points.
Ooh.
Really? Wow. Wait. When we reach 60? Okay.
60.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, no. What's the question?
What was working for you guys? Because you were moving the ball around, getting assists.
He's rapping right now.
Yeah, sharing the ball. I think we had 6 turnovers tonight, and I don't know how many assists.
They are in California.
Can somebody get the stat sheet?
27 in the first half.
Are you kidding me? He sounds like E40. Hey, hold on. Y'all gonna irk me. I'll keep it playing, but like, I saw something very funny the other day.
What about turnovers? Yeah, 6 turnovers, 41 assists. So, the ratio is crazy. So I guess that's the key. Not forcing. I guess we passed up some shots, especially in the first half.
Over there and act like I ain't tripping. The next few days, partner came up missing. Ooh, because I'm loyal to my soil. I never let it pass without my blessing oil.
That's the journalist. Hey, yo, Wimby. Ooh.
I'm not finna look over there and act like I ain't tripping. The next few days, partner came up missing. Ooh, because I'm loyal to my soil. I never let it pass without my blessing oil.
I'm sorry, and Wimby's like, I'm sorry, what was the question? Huh? Yeah, it's E40. You never heard of E40? Dude, listen to some E40 stuff. Yeah, it's a rapper. He's doing an imitation. Go listen to E40. He's awesome.
And made things easy for
California legend.
For us.
What is it like playing with Harrison Barnes and De'Aaron Fox, who used to play for this organization, and you guys look like you're playing a title contender?
Jordan McLaughlin too. It's all great guys. Especially, they're great teammates of the court and great mentors. And it's just guys that I can trust, and I think that sums up who we are as a team.
Victor, it's been just about a little over a year when it's basically been Mitch's job.
Jesus Christ had dreads, so shake them. I ain't got none, but I'm planning on growing some. That's such a good line, bro.
What do you recall about that time when it became his, and what made you have faith in him?
What I recall about the time, when he started being the coach, obviously it was a very troubled times for our organization. And I've always thought he was good, but I have seen a great leap from him, in my opinion. After he started his first season full-time as a coach, I think he's just taking his job with a lot of humility and will to learn. And I think that, it's funny because I said it yesterday in the press conference too, but he knows us so well from being around us not as a head coach at first, but as a individual coach. He knows his guys so much that he knows how to talk to us, and it feels like he never wastes. When he speaks, it's never for nothing. You know, he's always on point.
And in terms of Dylan, did you have faith in him immediately? Like, when did you know, like, he had special talent?
Very quickly. I think it's rare to be such a good shooter as a rookie, first of all. And I know it's rare to have this rim frequency as an NBA player at all. And very, very rapidly, I've had faith in him after. I mean, it's obvious, right?
Vic, apologies, it's a little early for this question, but I look ahead to the playoffs. I think about, you know, you talked recently about when you guys go 22-60, how painful that was. You want to get to 60 wins this year to kind of balance that out. And you clearly are somebody who wears your heart on your sleeve and you're competitive every minute of the day. So with that in mind, are you already getting excited about the playoffs and what you guys can do?
Yeah, for sure.
How does that manifest? How does that, you know, you watching clips, you thinking ahead?
Give him a minute. You didn't have to see, they in California, they don't know how Wemby work. He was gonna keep talking. You got to give him a minute. You know, he's a monk. He takes time. All right, his pauses are very long, like Barack Obama. Okay, it's let me be clear. Like he's got. Give him a second.
What does that look like?
He got nervous. He's like, "Oh my God, are you gonna answer my question?" Give him a second.
It's a lot.
There it is.
It's a lot of thinking right now. It's still. I mean, playoff basketball is still. It's still a dream for us, even though it's more true than a dream. It's also a goal right now to perform there. But it's a lot of anticipating. But we still gotta stay in the moment and attack 82 games of regular season to begin with. We can't skip steps, but it's definitely super exciting and feels like another step that we're gonna, you know, I mean, as a kid, you know, this is also something I dreamed of, so I'm already projecting on it, but gotta stay in the moment.
And just a quick...
Man, a lot of guys go into basketball and it's like your whole life you did it, you're really good at it, you know, try to perfect your craft, but they want the extra stuff out of it, right? Like some guys really enjoy the fame of it. They enjoy the groupies. They enjoy all these aspects of being a basketball player. It seems like Wemby truly does want to just be the greatest ever. Like it's all for basketball. It seems like when it comes to Wemby, all of it is for basketball. Like he wants the recognition. Like you guys know my favorite rapper of all time is Eminem, and he kind of talked about this all the time. Cringe quite a bit at that Death of Slim Shady album. It's a lot of great moments, but also a lot of cringe moments. But I do love M, and like he talked about that so many times over the years. Like not really being in it for the fame, just the recognition. But yeah, that's kind of like what Wemby is. Like he just wants to be the greatest ever, and he does want to be recognized for that. But he's not necessarily in it for all the extra stuff, you know. Rare breed, you know. People love to bring up the 90s and say, well, in the 90s people were just, they cared more. That's BS. There's like a few handful of players that actually cared. Even the 80s. Well, the 80s, they do the stuff Magic Johnson would talk about, the amount of women he would talk about he was with. Like, come on. Like, let's be so serious. Like, everyone's saying it was so much professionalism. No, it's rare breed. It's not that many that actually think this way. We just got super lucky with having two of the very few players that think this way, it being Tim Duncan and Wemby. I would even say David Robinson. Well, Manu as well. Okay, let's just say true superstars, one of the best in the league, could be top 5 candidates, top 10 candidates, not that many, right? And I would say Tim Duncan is one of them. I would say Michael Jordan. I would say Wemby and Kobe, you know, but yeah.
Related follow. Are you mindful of the MVP race, and are you making a push down the stretch?
Of course I am. Of course I am.
Victor, on the playoff front, from an energy perspective, how do you balance getting up for every game like today and back-to-back versus knowing that you're hopefully going to have a lot more even beyond 82 this year?
Yeah. You know, over the couple of years I've been with this organization, I've learned to trust the staff. Right now I'm talking about like the medical staff and who treat all the data and the load, etc. And my trust is hard earned, but they have it. So I'm gonna trust their judgment and how we're gonna manage this end of the season. But you can be sure that when I'm on that court, I'm not gonna be chilling. Thank you.
Man, he's just so matter of fact with everything that he says. I love it so much. But yeah, at the end of the season, they could very well sit him for the Nuggets or something like that, which would be big. All right, nice. I love it. I love it. All right. Lastly, I think we'll just listen to Mitch. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? You want to listen to Fox or maybe we should listen to Fox? I don't know. Fox or Mitch? It's not that many people in. We only got like 100 people in here. Very few people in the chat. I think a lot of people just kind of got it on the background. Who should we go with? Mike looks like a pen in his hand. Yeah. Who should we roll with? You guys want to go with Fox or you want to go with Mitch? I don't really know. Fox? Foxy? Fox? Okay. Foxy. All right. Fox it is. Okay. That's fine.
Good, man.
All right. We'll listen to Fox. We'll listen to what Foxy has to say. Let's listen to what Foxy has to say. Once again, another big shout out. I'll just do it again. I'll keep doing it. Benjamin, Yolanda, Jacob, Andrew, last few that ordered. I do appreciate all the love and thank you guys so much for the support. If anyone else is interested, go check out clanthemerchfan.com. Link in the description. All right. Let's see. Let's head on over here. De'Aaron Fox talks about the San Antonio Spurs. By the way, wait, I need to bring this up. I'm glad we're going over Fox. Can I say something? What's up with this narrative that you guys are saying I don't like Fox? It seems like every single time I criticize anybody in any shape or fashion, people start to say, oh, he's your new KJ. Can you guys recognize that the reason why I was so upset with Keldon was the tunnel vision, but also the defense? It was mainly the defense. And now we have Sean Sweeney and really helped these players in that. And he has taken on a role where he still kind of has that tunnel vision, but the ball is in so many other players' hands that you really amplify how good he is. And I can sit back and appreciate who Keldon is and just say, I said it many times, I was wrong about it, like thinking that he wouldn't be able to fit. I wasn't wrong about how bad he was defensively, but I was wrong about that. But now some people are actually saying, oh, Clan, what is this, live? Wait, what happened? Did something happen? Wait, did something happen? Bobby, you okay? Bobby? Anyways, can we just say, like, I don't know why people think that I don't like Fox. I do like Fox. I like Fox a lot. I think he's very important. I think that's why I've really harped on the fact that I really want him to gain that chemistry with Wemby and be aggressive at the end of the season, which he has been. I don't know where that's coming from. So weird. Without Fox, we are 5th or 7th seed. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Okay. I don't know if we're 5th or 7th seed. Maybe you're thinking about that 9-3 stretch. Yeah, Fox was a big part of that when we went 9-3. But I'm looking at the Houston Rockets, who's a terrible team in my opinion. I don't think they're that good. And they're currently, this date and time, sitting at 4th. So I don't know if the Spurs are 7th. I won't go that far, but yeah. Oh, okay. You're just surprised that we're still live streaming. Oh, okay. I was like, what happened? All right, yeah, it's really late. It was like 3 a.m. right now. Yeah.
We just started off this way, man. Well, of course, the grass is better than our bricks, but you guys are 19 and 21 the last
games. What's been working with you guys, and what has been like, playing with this organization?
I mean, I think what's been working is defensively. We've been playing extremely well. I mean, we have, I think, 8 guys averaging over 10 points. So, like, offensively, coming into the season, we knew that wouldn't have been our problem. So, whenever we're able to get stops and then make our already good offense a little bit easier, I think that's whenever we've been able to go on these runs. And I think that's why, like, the month of February we're so good, because we were playing.
Best dresser on the team, by the way. And also, I just want to say, my dream, I know a lot of people's dreams is like to be in the locker room or, talk to all the team. I just want to be in the room during a film session. That's all I want. I just want to be in the room during a film session. That would be so nice to watch. Wish we just had a camera following around teams throughout the league. Do they do that for the NBA? I know they do it for the NFL. NBA do that? Follow around teams during the league? Oh no, I think they do. And I think the Spurs, they were going to do the Spurs and then it got canceled? Nope. I thought it was a show and it got canceled. And we were up next or something. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Extremely well defensively. So, I mean, that's where it starts for us. And we're able to get it done right now.
What is like, being in a position that yourself and Harrison and Coach Williamson too is going into the playoffs, the postseason. So what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, that was our goal. One of our goals was to win 50 games this season. And, once we started getting close to that mark, and it's funny because HB actually talked about it. He's like, well, what if we win 50 games and then we lose in the first round? He's like, is that a successful season? And, vast majority obviously said no. And, we're trying to play for
who said that,
something. And, well, what if we win 50 games and then we started getting close to that mark? And it's funny because HB actually talked about it. He's like, well, what if we win 50 games and then we lose in the first round? He's like, is that a successful season? And, vast majority obviously said no. And, we're trying to play for something bigger than that. And people think that, we're ahead of schedule, but we feel like with the guys that we have in the locker room and the coaching staff always has us prepared, we feel like that we can play and compete for a championship. So, people will talk about whatever experience, we may or may not have, but in the day, you got to lace them up. You got to go out there and you got to beat us. So that's how we feel, and we feel confident against whatever team we play against.
Kind of along those lines, what, if anything, surprises you, if at all, not only your fit, but just the success that you guys have been able to put together this year? And like, a year ago when you got there, could you have envisioned this for yourself?
I mean, I saw potential in it. I don't know if I'd say I thought it would happen that quickly, but then coming into training camp and obviously like our staff kind of moved around a little bit, seeing how detail oriented they were coming into this season. And then obviously, I was out the first 8 games and we won 5 in a row. I was like, we can be really, really good. And I got back in the lineup and, obviously that momentum kept going. And just throughout the season, against when we're playing good teams or when we're playing bad teams, whatever it may be, I feel like we always give ourselves a chance to win, even when we're not playing well because of what we're able to do defensively. And obviously a lot of that has to do with Vic. And that's why, we have so much confidence in ourselves because
no matter what the game is looking like, no matter what happens, you have a chance to win because you have other things that you can reach in your bag for.
We have a lot of guys that put the ball in the basket, and even when we're not making shots, and it's not, every day that nobody on our team's making shots, but we give ourselves a chance to win because of the way we guard.
41 assists tonight, only 6 turnovers. Steph dished out 12, no turnovers. What's been the key to that kind of ball movement?
Like I said, I mean, we have guys that can put the ball in the basket themselves, but we enjoy playing together. We enjoy seeing each other succeed. So that makes, sharing the ball that much easier because obviously, Vic can isolate, I can isolate, Steph, Dylan, like we have a bunch of guys that can just go out there and go get it, but we don't play that way. And we know that throughout the course of a game, there are times where we do have to just be able to go out and get a bucket. But we continue to move the ball. And like I said, just try to make, our offense that's already good, we try to make it easier on ourselves. And being able to move the ball does that.
You're going to know last year you got rid of the first time being back here, but this year any different whatsoever, or is it just another basketball game?
Nah, it's just another game for me. Like I said, we're worried about ourselves. We're worried about trying to win a championship. And obviously, it's sweet coming back here because I get to see people that, I've seen for so many years. But other than that, when we get between those lines, it's a normal game.
I know you could probably concentrate on your season more this season, but have you we looked at what the Kings have done this year and just where they're at and what's changed so much?
I don't fall into that. Talking about the Kings, like they've been trash since you left.
Any past year?
I mean, obviously personnel and everything's changed, but I mean, I don't watch them any more than I watch any other team. Watch a lot of Cars 1 and 3. Ferdinand, I'm watching that all day. So they do miss Rachel a little bit, but we learn in other ways. But as far as movie goes, Ferdinand, Cars 1 and 3. I ended up watching Cars 2 and I was like, I like it, but I'm like, as a baby, I see why you don't like Cars 2. But
is he talking about the Disney movie? Is he talking about Cars, the Disney movie? Cars suck. I'll say it. If no one else gonna say it, I'll say it. You know? Yes. Nah, man. When you think of it like anthropomorphic animals, objects, whatever you want to do, the world should make sense for them. Cars doesn't make sense. It like they basically have our world, but it's cars that talk. That doesn't make sense. That's lazy. Zootopia. That's brilliant. The way that those worlds work, that world work is brilliant. It makes complete sense for the animals, for the anthropomorphic animals. Cars is stupid. Cars isn't good. I'll say it. I'll say it with my whole chest. Cars suck. And for him to say he likes Cars 2, that makes me sick. Monsters Inc. is peak, yes. Cars 2 doesn't make sense. For him to like it, that's awful. He's supposed to be a Dragon Ball fan. He's a Dragon Ball fan, and this is your taste? Well, to be fair, Dragon Ball gets a little weird with Super, if we're being honest. But, come on. Awful. Awful.
Nah. I mean, you know, in the rebuilding stage, you know, the young guys, I think, are playing well. And, you know, you want to be able to see that because, and I mean, looking at, you know, where we were last year, the young guys are playing well. You know, you get that experience. You get those.
Don't talk about Lightning McQueen. Get it. It sucks. Cars suck. I said it. The world doesn't make sense. Therefore, it sucks.
Reps, and then you come into the next season, try to hit the ground running from the jump.
Yeah, good to see you. That was an impressive topic change. Hopefully that. I wonder, with the young fella, with Vic, this is the best league in the world. You guys are all dogs from a competitive standpoint, but he seems to have a unique type of.
Yeah, you know what? I was wrong about Fox after all. I thought Fox was cool and good, and you know, nah, you got some issues. Should watch Dragon Ball instead. Dragon Ball's good. Dragon Ball Z is good, or Dragon Ball Zero. Dragon Ball or Zito. Is it Zito? Zito, whatever. Dragon Ball Super. It doesn't suck, but it's like, yeah, it's okay. It has its moments.
Hey, I wonder if you agree with that. But when you talk about it,
I'm excited for moral arc though.
Getting emotional when you come back. You know, I think against the Clippers.
Yeah.
Down 25.
You must watch Cars 2 first, shaking my head. Cars 2 actually is really awful, but Cars overall, the franchise suck. And I say that the franchise suck because the world doesn't make sense. That's my take. The world doesn't make sense. You can like the characters, you can find some funny gags, but the world doesn't make sense. I can't get into it if the world doesn't make sense. And people can be like, oh, well, you're just too old for Cars. I didn't like Cars when it came out. And I don't know how old I was. Actually, hold on.
Not sitting out. Do you agree that it's unique? What does that look like day to day? And then what's the impact on
I was a kid. I was a kid. I was like 11. Yeah, I was like 11 or whatever. And I didn't like it, so.
If all of that is true.
I was like 4. Yeah, well, I was like 11.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably outside of my wife. He's like the most competitive person that I've ever met. Rather if it's training camp, practice, shooting drill, like I said, all-star game, like it doesn't matter. Vic's trying to win. And even after some games, he's like, yeah, I want to be the MVP. And
I watched it 20 times. You were 4, okay? You were 4 years old, all right? I watched Barney 20 times, all right? I watched Teletubbies 20 times. Doesn't mean anything.
Some guys don't say that. And I mean, I don't think it's, you know, being humble or being cocky or anything like that, but that's the way that he is. He wants to be the best player on the floor every time he steps on the floor. And our job is to help him. Our job is to make that easier. But he makes the game a world easier for all of us, both offensively and defensively. But just the way that he is, the way he approaches the game, he's a workhorse. When people talked about he goes to sleep at 9 o'clock, like that stuff is real. And that's because the way that he approaches the game. And you really admire that. And he brings our team up with that as well. When we played like a bad team towards the beginning of the year, at times, you could play down to the competition. For example, the Laker game. We all knew they threw some bullshit out there, and we knew it. They knew it. And he comes out and he has 30.
De'Aaron Fox. Language. That doesn't sound like a man that watches Cars and enjoy Cars 1 and 3. Sir. Wow. No, what he's saying is they took offense to that. That tone, they took offense to that. It was kind of like okay, y'all scared to play us? You got a reason to be. Watch what we're going to do. That's crazy. You guys did not tell me he said this. Oh, man. De'Aaron Fox trash talks the Lakers. That should be the title of this one. What? The honesty. You can't say he's not honest. Hold on. I wanted that whole because look at him. He's like, but that's what I said. You remember we talked about the Lakers game and like some people were like, they didn't play anybody. But that's the point. They didn't play anybody and Wemby just boom, 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 boom. You got Steph Castle going for blocks when you're up by 30 on a fast break, falling on his back, coming back the next game, mind you. That was crazy. The amount of effort the Spurs put into whooping on the Lakers. Oh, you don't want to play anybody? You don't want us to see anything? Well, you're going to see something. Nasty work. Look how angry he is about that. And that's when the Spurs were turning things around, too. That's around the time we were turning around that physicality.
And our job is to help him. Our job is to make that easier. But he makes the game a world easier for all of us, both offensively and defensively. But
listen,
just the way that he is, the way he approaches the game, he's a workhorse. When people talked about he goes to sleep at 9 o'clock, like that stuff is real. And that's because the way that he approaches the game. And you really admire that. And he brings our team up with that as well. When we played like a bad team towards the beginning of the year, at times, you could play down to the competition. For example, the Laker game. We all knew they threw some bullshit out there, and we knew it. They knew it. And he comes out and he has 30 in the first quarter. Like a lot of times, people don't do that because they look at who's across from them, and you kind of let your guard down. And he doesn't do that. Regardless of who we're playing against, regardless if we're playing Oklahoma team that's the best team in the league, or it's Washington. I don't know who the worst team in the league is right now, but. Regardless of who we're playing against, he comes up there. I know I looked at the standings this morning. So it's an East team. Well, it's 2 East teams. I think it's like Indiana. Yeah, one of those teams. That's the worst team in the league right now. Like regardless of who they throw out there, he comes out there and he wants to punch people in the mouth. He doesn't talk about it to us, but like I've seen him say it in the media, and that's the way that he is, and you could tell that just by the way that he approaches.
You talked about the lack of experience, criticism that people will bring to the table. One experience that both you and HB had was the Beam Team year here. You guys were the hottest team in basketball coming out of the All-Star break to help solidify that spot. How has that experience benefited the two of you helping this group on this playoff push?
Yeah, I think it's big, not only for us. Obviously HB's played in multiple finals. Luke Cornett's been in multiple finals. Kelly Olynyk's played in multiple finals. Biz has played in the finals. So we have guys that have that experience. Obviously, a bulk of our minutes are guys that don't have that experience yet. But, you can ask questions, but obviously at the same time, it's not the same as being able to feel it. So, as many games as we can get that have that playoffs type of feel, playoff type of atmosphere will definitely be good for us. I think the in-season tournament, win or lose, I think that helped us. I think that being able to be in a game that you just feel like there's something on the line, I think definitely helps us. And, people are going to say what they say, but like I said, you got to line them up. You got to beat us 4 times. So we have confidence that we can go out there and win games.
Thanks, y'all. We got a couple babies. Speaking of cars. Appreciate all.
Good stuff. Really nice. Yeah, that's really great. Don't know if you covered it already, and I think I put it in another stream, but right now in terms of on-off numbers, Wemby is the best in the league. He's like +6 on offense and a +9 on defense. Wow. Yeah, I didn't go over that. Nice. Yeah. No, because he's like a +14 right now. Something like that. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, that's it for tonight. Not a long, I mean, 2 hours is longer than we normally do. So it is a long live stream, but not a crazy long live stream. Okay. Usually we've gone longer. It's just that it's super late, but I'm going to hop off. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate you guys coming through. Thank you again, M, for the super chat. And thank you for all the love that I've gotten when it pertains to the merch shop. So thanks for all the love. I'll get with you guys later. Yeah, thanks, man. Good stream. Yeah, we did like 6 segments tonight, so that's gonna definitely help. Next week I got really busy stuff that I'll be doing, so I'll be dropping these little, I don't know when I'll be dropping them, but I'll be dropping them pretty throughout. And we also have another segment where we talked about Wemby's height that we can kind of post whenever, so that'll be another time we post. I'll probably be posting it because I'm literally going to the game on Wednesday, and I don't want to go live that night, so I'll probably post it that a couple of these, that Memphis game night, and then the next day. Yeah, it'd probably be around that stretch, honestly. That's probably when we'll post those. But everything pertaining to this game would be posted. If you missed it, it'll be posted tomorrow, next couple of days. So, all right, get with you guys later. See you on, I think I'll be at my parents' next time I hear from you guys, which is like Thursday. Yeah, so you'll hear from me Thursday, you'll hear from me Saturday, but I'll be at my parents' house for those 2 games, and then Monday I'll be back here. Wednesday I'll be at that game. Ooh, sounds like E40. I might miss this Milwaukee game. Yeah, no, maybe I don't know. I might miss this Milwaukee game. We'll see. I think I might miss it. I'll probably just get on the phone with my boy, and he'll be watching it, and I'll just get commentary on what's going on. Anyways, I'll get with you guys later.